Ceces Opanowski was just 18 years old when she was brutally attacked by someone she once loved, her ex-boyfriend, Shawn Doyle. Ceces tried to put that traumatic incident behind her until she learned years later that he had murdered a mother of 2 young boys. Now, for the first time, Ceces speaks out publicly to 48 Hours about her remarkable story and how she was able to find strength to testify against her attacker in court. 48 Hours correspondent Anne-Marie Green is here with a preview of Saturday night's show. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hello, thanks for having me here.
All right, thanks for joining us. So let's get right into it. How important was Ceces' testimony to this trial?
It was incredibly important. Judges often do not allow a defendant's prior bad acts, that's what they call it, into evidence, right? Because it could bias the jury. The defense can always argue whatever happened before has nothing to do with this case. But the prosecution really felt like they needed to show the jury that there was a pattern of behavior that Shawn Doyle had with women that was a particular type of violence, and it went back decades. So Ceces testifying showed that he behaved like this, you know, right out of high school 20 years ago, but then 5 years after Ceces was attacked, he attacked another ex-girlfriend, allegedly tried to kill her. The only reason the attack stopped is because her mother walked into the room. That woman also testified, and that was key to show the jury that Shawn Doyle was behaving like this, and he was getting worse as the years went on.
Yeah, it definitely shows that pattern there. So a sneak peek, how did they rule in Lori Leonard's case?
So Shawn Doyle was found guilty of second-degree murder, not first-degree. The first degree would require sort of different parameters. Second-degree murder, he received 25 years to life with the possibility of parole, which means he is up for parole in 2030. That is just around the corner. As you can imagine, Lori Leonard's family is not happy about that.
Yeah, that leads to my next question. She left behind 2 young boys. You know, do you know how they've been coping with this situation all these years, the loss of their mother?
Yeah, Zach and Austin are 2 young men now, right? They were 5 and 9 at the time. They're in their 20s now. This, you know, did a number on their family. They went to each live with their fathers, so they were separated for a period of time. Jennifer, Lori's sister, really has been working over the last 2 decades to hold her family together, to keep them together. Because they were so young, they could not testify at trial, but they remember Shawn Doyle, and they didn't like him. They wrote victim impact statements for the judge. And so you can imagine this little 5-year-old writing what he misses about his mom and how he feels about Shawn Doyle in a 9-year-old handwriting. So we have them read those letters for us during the hour, and it's incredibly emotional.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's talk a little bit about Ceces quickly. She was so brave to come forward with this story. What lesson should the viewers take away from that? You know, it can be kind of scary to do those things.
Yeah, you know, Ceces testified, she did her job. There's no reason for her to bring all this stuff back up again. She's very successful. I'm sure there are people who know her very well and don't even know that she'd experienced this as an 18-year-old. The reason she's doing it is to make sure that no other 18-year-old or any woman, for that matter, goes through this. She wants you to trust your gut. Listen to your intuition. Something seems off, if a person doesn't seem right, if this is a toxic relationship, get out before it gets any worse.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great message to share. Thank you so much for joining us, Anne-Marie, and we'll be sure to tune in Saturday night.
Thank you.